What's up guys, Perlin here, and in today's video I want to give you some tips and tricks of how you can go single-use plastic free in your lifestyle. So if you didn't know, plastic is a big issue for the world right now, and single-use plastic is one of the worst offenders. Landfill and the oceans and the beaches are all clogged up with plastic. It's killing marine life, wildlife, all of the sea life. It's getting into the food chain. It's coming all the way up to us, and it's not a good thing. And single-use plastic is one of the worst offenders. And single-use plastic is just plastic that is designed for single use, and then it's just thrown away after that. It can't be reused. And removing single-use plastic from your life will help dramatically to stop all of this plastic that's just flooding out into the landfill and the oceans. And I've been going single-use plastic free for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And I've managed to replace a lot of things that were single-use with reusable items that aren't single-use plastic. So I want to share with you all of the things that I've been able to replace over the last couple of weeks, and hopefully you can use some of those tips to implement into your life so you can be going plastic free as well. So first up, reusable bags. I use this for all of my carrying stuff around during the day, getting vegetables, things like that. This is like 99 cents from Woolies, so they're really cheap. And plastic bags, single-use plastic bags, is one of the worst offenders out of the single-use, which is the worst offender out of all the plastic problems that we have. So if you can get rid of plastic bags, that'll be a great help. It's also one of the easiest things to do. You can get one of these bags, you can get any carry bag that is reusable, and you'll be improving straight away. Next things I replaced was the rice, muesli, and pasta, which I all used to get from the supermarket. It would all come wrapped in plastic, and now I get them in containers. Now I go to Source Foods here in Byron. They sell all of these type of things wholesale, so I can go there with a container, get it filled up, and just pay the price per weight. So I got my rice in container, my muesli, and pasta. So find a place in your town that does bulk food and buy your stuff from there. Next is my bread. So this is a bread bag. Just got my daily loaf in there at the moment, which is great. This one's from Onya. It's BPA free. It's made from 10 water bottles that would have gone into the tip. So this is a really good bag. It keeps the bread fresher, which is awesome. It's also fine in the freezer, so you can take out what you're going to use fresh, put the rest in the freezer, and then just toast it as you go. So reusable bread bag, that's great. Don't have to buy the plastic wrapped bread in the supermarket. Next thing, all of my fruit and veggies, which I used to get at the supermarket, now I get at my local farmer's market. So that happens every Thursday here in Byron. I just go there with my bag, get all of the fruit and veggie that I like, and as a bonus, it's also seasonal and local and organic. So that's really good to get all of my fruit and veg from the farmer's market instead of from the supermarket. Next is chicken. So the chicken I just get in a container, and I take that to my local butcher, and he just puts it in the container. Same thing, weighs the container, puts the chicken in, I pay for the difference. Unfortunately, you can't do that at the supermarkets because of some health and safety things, so they have to put it in a plastic bag before they wrap it in paper to give it to you. So the only way that I could figure out is to go to the local butcher to get it put in your own container. Cooking oil, I use this coconut oil, which is great. I use it for all of my cooking needs, so I don't have to buy canola oil or something in a plastic bottle. All of my honey and jam I buy in glass instead of plastic. Water bottles, I always just buy a glass bottle and have that as my water bottle, but there's 1,000 options for reusable water bottles these days. There's no need to buy plastic single-use water bottles to drink your water in. Just containers in general, so anything that I open and don't use all of, I put in a Tupperware container and put that in the fridge instead of having to use like Glad wrap, which is chucked out single use. So I just use containers for everything. Soap, I used to get soap that was wrapped in plastic, and that was wrapped in plastic, and now I can just either get it by the box like this, or you can just get loose soap from health food store or the farmer's market. If you're shopping around and you need to put things inside a bag, like when you're in the supermarket and you put like a bunch of peas inside of a bag before you go to the checkout, I use just a reusable cloth bag. This weighs absolutely nothing, so it won't affect the weight. And that's what I put anything loose that needs to go in a bag before it can get weighed. So I just use a little reusable bag like that. Coffee. Now this was actually very difficult. I had to ask around a lot to find a place that didn't sell coffee wrapped in plastic. And I asked around and I finally found a cafe. Shout out to Bayleaf Cafe here in Byron. They've got an industrial grinder, so I can go there with my container and they're happy to sell me. They've got bags of coffee for sale and they've got bulk coffee there, so they just weigh up how much a bag would be. They grind it up into my container and I just pay like that. And of course, if you're getting coffee on the go, we've got my Keep Cup, which is awesome. There's a bunch of these for sale. Washing detergent, instead of buying washing detergent or powder, I have one of these washing balls, which is great. Works really well. Just chuck it in with your load of washing. It's reusable. Now, if you want to keep your veggies fresh in the fridge, a lot of people wrap them in plastic or they come wrapped in Glad wrap to keep them fresh. I use this hemp. Make sure you see it in the camera there. It's like a bag made of hemp, and you just wet it and you put your fruit and veg in that, put it in the fridge, and it keeps them super crisp and they last for like days longer. It's crazy how well this works. I'm actually going to do a full review of this product in the future, so keep an eye out for that one. Stationery. Now I'm always writing in little notebooks like this, like every single day, to-do list, things like that. I used to buy this one, which has got a plastic front, and it also comes wrapped in plastic like a bundle. And now I just buy this one from the news agency, and it's got a cardboard front. Pens. I used to buy single-use plastic pens, and I actually dug out my old Parker, which had run out of ink like years ago, and I just went to the news agency, got an ink refill, and good to go again. So my pen is now reusable. Funny story with this pen, I actually got given this as like a graduation present from graduating year 6 in 2000, 18 years ago, and I've still got this pen because it was just too fancy to throw out, and it ran out of ink probably like 18 years ago, and I just never threw it out, and then bang, get a refill, still works fine. Milk, I used to get in a plastic container, now I get milk by the carton. Toilet paper, I used to get wrapped in plastic, and now I get the one that is wrapped in paper. Chocolate, I make sure that I always get chocolate that is wrapped in cardboard and foil instead of wrapped in plastic. So there you go, there's a bunch of things that I've been able to replace over the last couple of weeks as I'm going single-use plastic free, and hopefully a bunch of tips that you can use and implement straight away. And the trick with putting this into practice in your life is when you need to buy that product again, then you buy the option that doesn't have single-use plastic on it. So you don't have to go through your whole kitchen or your whole life and just get rid of everything. As you go, as you buy things come up, then you can get the non-plastic version of it. Now, it does take some effort. You know, I used to just go to the supermarket for all of my needs all the time, and now I go to a bunch of different places. I go to a baker, a butcher, the farmer's market, source food store, and the supermarket. So I go to a bunch of different places now to get food instead of just like the one place. So that does take extra time, but it is well worth it because we all need to put in effort to stop the bleeding, basically. Stop all of this plastic just going out into the world over and over, day after day, and just killing so many wildlife. It's crazy. Because plastic basically doesn't go away. Pretty much every piece of plastic that has ever been made is still on the earth. It hasn't disintegrated yet. So it stays for a crazy amount of time, and it's got nowhere to go. And we're seeing the effects of it now, where all of the beaches and oceans and landfill is just full of plastic, and it's creating real issues. So I hope these tips helped. If you've got other tips you want to share, leave them in the comments below. I'll put links for some of the products and the shops that I used. I'll leave all of those links in the description, so check those out. That's it for now. Like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, bye.